All right, I think we are officially now back with BibleCraft Season 2. We got the starter chest. All right, now that we're actually back here, I'm going out of creative mode, so I has.
Ooh, how do I get game sounds to go through my headphones? That's a fun one.
Ooh. If you
It
hadn't...
would be options, music, and
there's a
sound.
swamp over
No,
there.
because Minecraft is dumb. It doesn't have that.
It really is. But welcome
So
back.
go through...
This season we are doing a 1.7.10 world. I'm not sure if Ben is joining us or not because he's a little sick boy this week. But so with that, we got me, we got Nolan, we got Joe. We're back for Season 2 of BibleCraft. Just kind of getting started off here. There's a village right here. There's some cool mountains in the distance. There's a swamp over that way. There's a desert that way. Pretty much I loaded in, put that sign down, put myself in creative mode so I didn't just instantly die. And that's about all that's happened on the... Oh, I always forget about the slow swimming. Oh, pain. Let's double check everything's pretty much I loaded in. Okay, yep. The sound's coming through. Nolan, are you still breathing over there?
Yep. Sorry, did I leave the chat?
No, I was just making sure. Oh, there's a temple in this village. Literally across. I found home.
I don't know what to do with my volume. That is a nice village.
Joe, I have something for you.
Oh, this is before they even added like glazed terracotta and stuff.
You love me.
I do. I think it is before that. Hey, how's it going, gamer? I know you keep... I'm always like doing AFK stuff in Fortnite where I'm literally just sitting doing nothing in Lego Fortnite while working on other stuff. And then I see gamer has requested to join your party. I was like, I'm not going to accept because I'm currently just literally doing absolutely nothing. But howdy. So for anyone who wasn't really around when we were doing Season 1 of BibleCraft, how this works is it's basically just your average Minecraft multiplayer world, but as we go through it, we will be having conversations and discussions about theology and the Bible and all that cool stuff. The goal for this season is also to have a few guest hosts joining every now and then, especially weeks where one of us can't be here. But we'll be seeing how all that looks because I'm not really sure yet. We're working on having a more formal schedule for it than we did last year, or last season, I should say. I think the first season ended, going into summer? Or maybe it was like early summer, because I think it was
early summer, but I don't remember.
Because we struggled to end it because of the fact that it was like all of a sudden, like Ben was off of Wi-Fi, Joe, you were moving, like it was like everyone was... me and Nolan were busy with summer stuff with youth groups, and all of a sudden it was like everyone's
Real quick before we start, can I get a TP?
Where are you?
I fell down a hole, and I don't have blocks to get up.
Are you in the desert temple?
I got you, Nolan.
Last season we were pretty flexible with some of the rules. This season, technically cheats are enabled for me, but we're not going to use them because... that way,
You're Nolan.
We don't cheat.
Take care of me. That's a good way to preface the "we don't cheat" rule.
Yeah, we don't cheat
Good
here.
batter.
We are Christians. Ooh, some coal. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. I'm not sure if I'll be playing Fortnite at all tomorrow, gamer, because it's Wednesday and that's youth group day. So most of my day is either spent at youth group or getting ready for youth group. Ooh. I don't know why I'm really tired today. It's been so hot here the last like 3 days that legitimately the last 2 nights like I haven't been able to sleep. Day. It's been crazy. Did you guys get hit with that big storm like last night sometime? Or no, Joe, you would have gotten hit by it today as well.
Yeah, we did.
That kind of came out of nowhere this afternoon.
It hit us this morning, so it must have been moving pretty fast.
Yeah.
And this is 2 different storm systems.
It kind of kept forming and reforming because I kept I'd been watching it. I knew that there was a chance of a storm coming through. But I was like, even the weather people were all like, we know there will be one, but we have no idea when or how big or anything other than that it will be happening at some point today. But
I think I'm gonna build my base in this flower forest. I really like it here.
I was gonna say the flower forest is pretty dope. I'm currently just kind of mining up stuff. I might honestly claim this little island right here for my base.
Mhm.
Actually,
I
no,
wish you can
swimming
you
is
do
too
like
annoying.
can you do the lunar mods for the world like we did before, like Fulbright and
Yeah, I've got all those on, I think.
nice. And there's no way to add fast leaf decay, right?
No, there's not, because that would technically be...
Yeah.
Well, I don't think so. I think, because that would technically fall under data pack, I guess.
Fast leaf decay?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if data pack support was added until
No,
recently.
I don't think it was. And also, I'm not sure even what commands were available at this point.
This is back when you'd still use like /game mode 1 and /game mode 0.
Yeah. Which will be fun. I think this was the first version of Minecraft that I owned on PC.
Dude, have I got a story for you?
Oh boy.
This is the first version of Minecraft that I downloaded on my school computer illegally, and then got my computer taken away for downloading.
Classic.
Classic Nolan.
Classic illegal Minecraft downloads on school computers.
I had somebody literally my name was player number 1, and I had a Steve skin, and I couldn't change my name because I had stolen my buddy Wyatt's login information.
That's so funny. Player number 1, Nolan, has entered the field. I'm trying to find... Okay.
Check that tree cow over here. I think my first... Ooh, I like this little gorge over here. Like, I kind of want to build like a little bridge between them and have like some different like castle towers up there.
That could be cool.
I like that.
I was gonna say that'll be part of the fun part of this, is figuring out like what blocks were even in the game at this point to use for building.
Luckily, I mostly just use birch and stone bricks for my builds anyway.
That's very true.
No cherry wood, sadly, but
No, I love the cherry. No amethyst. My dog is barking at something outside, and I don't know what.
But hey, we still have birchwood. Birchwood's
Birch.
kind of goated.
It is, and I think there's dark oak at this point too.
yeah, dark oak had just been added when this update first went live.
I think it was like, yeah, this was like the dark oak and acacia update, I think. And the reason we're doing it this is because this was the furthest back version of Minecraft we could access to make that would be an easy server. Got him.
Yeah, it's my first game back, bro.
First death on the server goes to Nolan, as it should be.
Actually,
all is
Actually,
theory
well,
goes-
that's me.
in theory, it goes to Joe. I killed him with an axe right before we started stream.
Oh, that's true. And actually, I guess I think I slash killed at some point because I was out of hunger. And then
were you just exploring around to load chunks and stuff?
I was just like sitting there and trying to like load in some chunks, but then all of a sudden it was like all my hunger's gone. So I was like, I'll just slash kill and then go create.
I wonder how well this is going to work as compared to Hypixel servers.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea. Because Hypixel servers are really... Because realms do not work well at all.
No.
Like the Microsoft hosted realms, which you'd think would be like some of the best servers, are terrible.
Well, we considered for BibleCraft Season 2 doing Bedrock for a little bit and doing a
Yeah.
Bedrock realm.
Yeah, and then we just decided we didn't want to play on the buggiest version of the game.
They call it Bug Rock for a reason.
Very true, brethren, very true. I just had a memory pop up on Facebook today, and it was like, I think I shared it, and it was a photo of like one of my first, I think it was like the first soccer game freshman year at college. And I was like, wow, that's
that
already
make you
been,
feel?
it was weird, because it was like, that's already been 5 years.
It's been a long
bet-
time, yeah.
I was going to say, you must have looked so thin in those
I
pictures.
did, I was
looking.
so thin.
Our friend Lexi sent me a picture of myself from sophomore year when I was out doing a prayer walk with her and Emmanuel.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, wow, I look so different. Much has changed.
Much has
Chief among them,
changed.
my BMI.
Chief among them. It's such a rancid sentence.
I'm really actually happy to be back in the gym. I just started a new gym membership chat, so it's been fun.
W in the chat for Nolan. I was gonna say I've been getting back into running, but then it's been super hot this week, so I haven't done much. Tomorrow, I promise, maybe.
They all
Depends how I
say
sleep
pal.
tonight.
Can you make a stone pickaxe with sandstone?
I don't think so.
Pretty sure
Looking
you
to-
can.
I was gonna say I don't.
I was
think
hoping to
so.
skip the wood pickaxe phase.
Elbozo.
Old-
Or you could have been like
Old
me and
lava
Joe,
texture.
who skipped right to iron pickaxes from finding the village chests.
Oh yeah, I
Ooh.
have 2 pieces of iron and 11 gold from the temple chests.
Nice.
So I didn't find anything good in there.
All right. back above ground. Time to find a better cave, because that cave didn't have all that much for me. I forgot that they have free look available. You just can't use it on a Hypixel. Whee! Okay. If you hit, if you hold Alt, you can like change the angle you're viewing your character at without changing the direction you're running.
They have super secret settings on this version too.
Wait, do they?
Yeah.
Yo.
I remember I would do that and then give myself the nausea effect and tell people that I like found weed in Minecraft and stuff like that when I was in middle school.
Oh yeah, I found 3D Minecraft. Wait, no, it went away. Okay, I'm turning it off. I think I turned it off.
All Minecraft is 3D, you fool.
Oh, so true, bestie, so true. That's my favorite line right now to respond to people with. It's so funny since no one expects me to be saying so true, bestie, and it's usually just about dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, I forgot.
What?
This version of Minecraft doesn't have the different types of doors.
Oh.
That's an L.
That is one of the quality of life changes that I'm glad they added. Because it is
Good
such
variants.
Yeah.
Oh, that means no trapdoor variations either.
No. It's all gonna be oak, baby. That's crazy. I hadn't even thought about that. Okay. Also,
Time to make a
since
redstone
this,
door.
also, since this isn't a Hypixel, I don't think they had the ability to change sleep percentage yet as a command. So I can't set it so that only one of us has to sleep. We all have to sleep. Which is fair.
That's sad.
Oh, I forgot. This version doesn't return things to your inventory when you close the crafting menu.
Oh, it doesn't? It just drops them?
Yeah. That's going to be very frustrating in the future.
Creeper.
Oh man.
And a witch. Alright, let's see. I'm trying to find somewhere that I can hide to smelt up all my stuff.
You could come to my base
Nope.
that I'm starting.
I'm commandeering a house in the village for the time being.
Oh, is this before villagers had beds?
Yeah, because I don't think beds were a factor for... Oh, I just made a chest.
Yeah, because it was with the door spawning. That's right.
Yeah.
Weird mechanics.
Yeah, it didn't have... Because now it's, they're breeding villagers, which is a weird way to phrase that, is all based around beds and food, whereas back here it was all about how many doors. Just such a... Again, like, just a weird way to go about it. But with the limitations of this time and what they were able to do, like, it made the most sense, I guess.
Which one of the shotties got the most doors?
Me when I marry someone for 10 doors. Oh gosh, that was terrible. That was absolutely rancid.
How many doors did Janissa offer you for her hand in marriage?
At least 2. I realized I hadn't pulled up our BibleCraft Google Doc yet. But as we're all just starting to get, our goal for today, world-wise, is just to, start setting up base, and kind of just exploring, just doing the general first few days of Minecraft stuff. Captain Crunch fell from a high place.
I don't want to talk about it.
But as we're getting going here, I think our first topic for tonight is just, catching up on what we've all been up to. Because it's been all summer. And we've all been up to, it's not like we've all just been sitting around doing nothing. But Joe, you probably had the biggest life change over the summer. So what was your summer like?
It was hectic. Had a big move that we made about a month and a half ago now. So pretty much our whole summer was really just focused around that and planning for it, saving for it, working a lot, was short-staffed at work, so that added a whole other factor.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Hey, it's great having extra money from work, but I also need to help pack, and I need to help plan, and now we're here, baby.
Yeah, and now you live a lot closer to me.
I do.
Which is a W.
Big
He
W.
lives further away from me.
Perfect.
Also a big W.
Win-win.
Wait, what?
Wait. Yeah. Because you're working for like at large the Aldi Corporation now, right?
Yep.
And they're warehousing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which just sounds. What do you do? So when you're like there, are you able to like listen to music while you're driving things? Or no, you just have to like sit in silence while driving around doing orders.
Yeah, but they do have like a corporate radio system, so like it's not like it's dead silent, but it's
Yeah.
also not like my music.
It's not great music usually.
No,
Walmart
not.
music.
I mean, it's sometimes
listening
it's
to
fun,
Dynamite in the
but-
car on the way home from work.
I love listening to Dynamite in the car on the way home from work. Yikes. So like is it like the current pop radio or what is
It's just. I mean, it's a playlist that the employees like made or something. I guess I don't know. I don't know how it all works yet.
once upon a time someone made a playlist and now it's still the one that's in use?
Yeah, apparently you can like request that songs get added to it. This week has been cringe. It's been like DJ week or something where like the supervisors all take turns making like cheesy announcements for like music that people request.
Oh jeez. Sounds terrible.
It really is.
They play Hot to Go.
I hope they play Hot to Go.
It's been played many times.
Oh no.
It's been in my
Spain.
head all week because of it.
Spain without the S. All right, Joe. What are your home base coordinates? Oh wait, I see Nolan's.
This
I'm running for Nolan's. Oh gosh, there's so many skeletons on the way. Oh my gosh, I forgot how dangerous the night times were. Ah,
me and Nolan are just having door wars.
Nolan, leave the door open. Ah, creeper. Run through the fields. Well, I'm desperately trying to live. Nolan, what did you do this summer? Like, what have you been up to since?
We basically overhauled our youth group program this summer. So instituted a lot of quality of life changes that we needed. Did a couple outreach events. Workshopped ideas of doing a mission trip. Didn't have the resources or the interest to do one this year, so we're working on that for next year. And we did a lot of high-level youth group stuff that I'm excited for, and that I think our team is excited for too.
Nice.
Coordinated some staffing changes. Coordinated a lot of outreach events. I went to my old summer camp and pulled a week up there. Took vacation to Glacier National Park and did some hiking there, which I highly recommend. And what else did I do? I got really into disc golf this summer. I did a lot of that.
So you did do a lot of disc golf. That's right.
Mhm.
I feel like
I'm coming
almost
up
all
on-
your reels have been disc golfing.
Yeah. I did a lot of it was a very restful summer for me. I don't think I did as many youth group things as Jacob did. This was a big like future planning year for me. I'm coming up on 1 year at my position, and I think Jacob, you're past the year mark at this point, right?
Yeah, I passed it on July 1st. Was my roll around to the second year. Is
Yeah,
that
you got
dark?
2 months on me. I forgot about that.
I see a dark oak forest over there. I'm gonna make the break for it, even though it's nighttime.
But yeah, we kicked off youth group programming pretty recently.
I was gonna say we both
And-
kind of kicked off our school year stuff this last Wednesday, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Which is exciting. Sorry, I'm trying to kill a zombie. Oh, I keep forgetting that I don't have to time my hits anymore.
I know. It's nice that you can spam click. But also remember that means axes are worse.
Yeah, and there's no shield, so I can't just stare a creeper in the face while it blows up.
Can you that's a quality of life change.
Yeah.
Can you do blocking if you have a sword?
Yeah, but I don't think it does all that much. Mark is back. Hello, Mark. How was your testing of stream stuff tonight? Because so last week you had you did have a Wednesday night, but it wasn't it like what was it? Did you do a movie night? Is that what you had said?
Yeah, Jesus Revolution.
Nice, classic youth
Yep.
group movie night.
Good place to start.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see some of the other stuff that we'll get to do this year. I'm looking forward to the start of a new year. So So our first like youth group proper is going to be tomorrow night.
Nice. So tomorrow night is our second night of lessons, and I just finished. One of the kids had an idea of doing making up like worksheet sort of things for the students to use during the lesson to help them pay attention better. And I was like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. And so Nolan helped me with that a little bit today. Dogging. Because I had never done that before. So now I have questions for the kids to answer. And that way they're paying attention and know how to answer the questions during small group. But all those fun little things. It was good my computer was struggling. Yeah, I noticed you had a little bit of frame dropping. Like the quality seemed good in terms of like pixels. But it definitely looked like you were dropping some frames. And I wasn't sure if that was on my end or on your end, but yeah. And then
Jacob, what have you been up to this year?
I was going to say, like Nolan kind of hinted at, my summer consisted of a lot of student programming. We did camp, we did VBS, we did every other Friday, we did big events. Every Wednesday after we got back from camp, we did Bible Basics, where we went through the whole Bible in 5 weeks. And not like the whole Bible, but most of the Bible. If you think back to our conversation last season about what are the bullet points of the Bible, it was kind of along those lines. But so it was a good summer, busy summer. Just continuing to get settled in and adjust to life up here in Door County area, in the shadow of the beast as a Bears fan. Janessa doesn't like going to make that joke.
Did she just yell at you from the other room?
No, she's at worship practice right now. This Sunday we've got our big Labor Day end of summer event. So Sunday we do outdoor service at 6 p.m. with food trucks, games, and then we end the night with a huge fireworks show. So it's like one of our big community outreach events. And just a good time. But so that's been most of what my week has consisted of, getting ready for and building light posts for string lights and answering phone calls from people, posting it all over Facebook, just getting ready for that. But after that, then summer will officially really be over because all the schools around here start on September 3rd.
Really, you guys are starting late.
Yeah.
All the Iowa schools have been back for a few days already.
Yeah, which I would have thought that we would have been starting around the same time, if not earlier, because Iowa is all like fall is harvest season. So I kind of would have figured that Iowa would have started after us. So that was kind of a surprise when I found that out. Oh, there goes my axe.
Man, my base is looking beautiful.
Oh, good.
I'm just grinding materials right now.
That's what I'm doing now.
I was gonna say I'm trying to get some dark oak going. Oh, I forgot what you had just said. I just chucked a bunch of sticks on the ground. But yeah, so summer's been good. Very busy. I'm ready to kind of settle back into the normal school year routine of Wednesday nights and then only every now and then doing special events. And I think that,
Are you doing any youth group program changes this year?
our program, we changed the time a little bit, so we're starting at 6 instead of 6:30. Reason being, we just didn't have enough time to get everything in. Because if we start eating dinner at 6:30, then by the time everyone eats, then we do game, then we do worship, message. Small groups aren't starting till almost 8, and I think that small groups are such a crucial part of Wednesday night programming. That I was like, we got to adjust this. We can't keep having small groups be the thing that gets 5 minutes of time for. And so now we're starting at 6 instead.
Do you feel like did you have to shorten other things you were doing, like teaching?
No, we pretty much just with that extra time, I was able to basically make it so everything gets 30 minutes. 30 minutes to eat, 30 minutes for game, 30 minutes for worship and lesson, and then 30 minutes for small group. And then with the knowledge that small group will probably be closer to 20 minutes by the time I stop yapping. But, at least that way, even 20 minutes for small groups, I feel like is a good amount, because any longer than that and the boys get distracted. Even easier than they already do. Anyone who's ever been in a middle school boy small group knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Even as a middle school boy yourself.
I love my middle school small groups.
Oh, I know you do.
There's not a lot to get I have actually found that it's easy to engage our middle school boys. Like, you got to be able to connect with them. Oh, I hear spiders, which means I'm near a cave, but I don't know where it is.
Hot dog. I was gonna say, I feel like middle school has always kind of been your bread and butter, from my understanding of.
I like middle school. I know that's like kind of a strange thing for people who don't work with middle schoolers. Middle school is my favorite age group to work with. Middle schoolers are just hitting like the critical age where their minds are starting to expand like more in those few years than they ever have and ever really will. And a lot of times you're getting kids who are starting to tackle like big concepts for sometimes the very first time.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's
period
cool.
of big life change and new things, and yeah. And along with that comes a lot of craziness. And I think that, yeah, I feel like our personalities, you naturally handle the craziness of middle school better than I do. And that's not a good or bad for either of us. And again, like, I love my middle school boys, but I'm always like I feel like I am too focused on bringing it back together and sometimes I get lost in focusing on trying to keep things streamlined and almost lose them in that effort to stay focused on what we're talking about.
Here's what I'll say. I think that's a little bit to my detriment.
I mean,
I think if you let it get out of hand, it would be to your detriment more.
Yeah. And so I think that's where
just
the
something
difference
that we all
comes
work
in.
on. Yeah.
Is that it just kind
Realizing
of
what
depends on
works.
our focus and working with your strengths and, making sure that you have people around you who can help make you focus a little harder, but also I need people around me who can help me remember to relax and just have fun and not be as stressed about getting through things as I usually am. But shout out my middle school boys. You know who you are, and you know that you're a pain in my butt. Love them.
Yeah, I've been. Oh, that's another thing I started doing this summer. I started intentionally discipling 2 middle school boys.
Yeah, which I think
Not at the
is
same
really
time.
cool.
So I'm separately. So I meet with one of my boys on Monday afternoons, and we play chess. And I meet with another one of my boys on. Not always super regularly, but I always find time to meet with him and do something during the week. Whether or not that's we go get some McDonald's or we get together and we just hang out. Like last week, he came in and we installed some new bookshelves in the youth room, and so he came over with his dad's tool set and helped me install a bunch of shelves.
Yeah. Which I think is really cool, and it's a really it's a really simple method of discipleship, but that's almost the most effective.
Life on life.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember Jeremy, who is Hamilton is barking. Jeremy, who's one of my mentors and who I interned under, and then I got him to come speak at camp for us this summer, which was awesome. But he said something along the lines of, it was something along the lines of like being a teacher is finding when people can fit into your schedule, and being a discipler and mentor is finding where people can come into your schedule, or something along those lines. Like the difference between fitting them in and then just adding them to, where are we just doing life together, or is this like I'm definitely butchering what I'm trying to say here, but just it's a more relaxed,
programming it and making it
casual,
organic.
Yeah. Where you're able to have a greater influence on someone if you are truly just hanging out and just getting to know each other and doing life together.
And
also
known as meeting people where they're at, which is a core tenet of ministry.
Yeah. Not where they...
Which that's going to be that's part of our youth group mission statement that we're going to talk through tomorrow. Our first night is going to be a mission vision night for youth group.
Nice.
And so we're a week behind because the school scheduled something over the top of youth group last week, so we had to alter it. So despite being a week behind, we're just going to soldier on as we have been. So mission and vision night is this week. We're going to go through our youth group's mission and vision statement, which is very similar to our church's, and then talk about what our youth group is, like what kind of a group we're going to be, set some goals with our kids. And they're really just pushing hard to, hey, this is our group's identity. Like this is going to be who we are. This is the kind of culture we're going to set. This is like our our end game goals is like we want people to be more like Jesus, but also there's how do we get there? If our end game goals we want people to be more like Jesus, we can't just say that because there's got to be here's where we're going, here's the path for how we get there.
Yeah.
So for us, the path of how we get there is creating community. Our youth group's vision statement is our mission statement is functionally the same as our church's because we're a ministry of our church, and that's important to be in line and unified with your main church that way.
Yeah.
So it's functionally the same, but with the word students added in for the church level. At the youth group level, our vision statement, how we get to the mission, is a little bit different. So our vision statement is we use biblical teaching and real relationships to create a culture of caring that is all about Jesus. And that language is really intentionally and specifically chosen because community is what we're shooting for. We want to unite people together around the foundation of Jesus Christ and get them to a point where we want them to get to a point where they buy into our ministry because they're invested and because youth group is something that is fundamentally a good thing. Like it's community, and that's like what's what Christians were created for.
Yeah, I like how I like how heavy of a focus you have of keeping the focus on the youth ministry as part of the church, because I feel like it's very easy in a lot of churches almost end up operating them as separate ministries, and you lose so much good growth and connection for the students and the ability to actually get plugged in with the church as a whole when you separate it out so much. And I think that's definitely a strength of your ministry there, is that it is very connected and it is very one ministry, not two separate ministries.
I heard somebody say youth group has, for years, youth group functions as like a one-eared Mickey Mouse, where it's these two circles, one smaller than the other, that really loosely connects in some areas and really not loosely connects in other areas. And just doesn't connect in some areas too. So I like that, but also it's also been called like a headless octopus, where just all these tentacles going nowhere and like nothing's actually connecting.
Yeah. And I feel like that is a strength of our classes at Bible College. There was a very heavy emphasis on having a purpose behind everything you do and making sure it all ties back together, instead of just, oh, let's do this because this seems cool right now. Shout out Jeff, who hopefully will be on an episode this.
Yeah, I was going to say that. We're hoping.
I sent him a text today, but he has not responded. He hates me now.
Well, he just became an elder at his church.
Yeah.
So he's got stuff going on.
He is a busy guy. Are these potatoes? I want to harvest. I found another village. Yep, those are potatoes. Alright, what can I drop? 2 arrows. I'm stealing all their potatoes.
Yeah, I did that on the first village.
You don't eat them. And potatoes are such a good food source.
They are.
They're always my go-to. Until I can get like...
water elevators and caves aren't going to work very well in this version of Minecraft either.
No, they won't. I'm trying to work my way back to you guys here, but I'm very far away. And it is very dark out. And that is a lot of skeletons again. Oh, run. Ooh, jump. What was I saying? I want to go back to something that you had said, something about meeting people where they are. I feel like that's something that I've been trying to get. I've been focusing on a lot. And last Wednesday, our first 2 weeks, the first week was, what is the gospel? And then what is our response? So last week we went over, what does it mean to be saved? Why are we saved? How are we saved? And then this week we're talking about what is our response? But as part of, what is the gospel? And then what is our response? I'm, telling them that, it takes time to follow Christ, until your desires align with Christ's, but basically that we're going to hold them accountable to what he wants, even as they're still growing. Because I feel like that's something that our group has had difficulty with adjusting to, just because of the culture in this area where I am, of, a lot of saying things and not following them up with actions. And we went to the Disciple concert last week because they were here. in the area, and the lead singer talked about the idea of, why does that Enderman have red eyes? That's scary. This idea of, showing people who Christ is by your actions more than by your words. And he talked about how he worked for a long time with this guy named Andy, and how he never told Andy the gospel, period. But years later, Andy showed up at a disciple concert and was like, yo, I believed in Christ because of how you treated me. And so that's going to be a big focus of our group for this year is, are our actions and our words lining up with what we say we believe, and focusing on that aspect of sharing the gospel with people through how we live, and not just by how we tell them. We are back. We are so back. Isaac Dean, welcome back. It's been a while. How are you doing? Are you back in college at this point? I think you were in college last year. But that's kind of our.
Oh, I like Isaac Dean. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, he hung out for most BibleCrafts. But no, so that was kind of that's one of the things that I'm talking about tomorrow night is, following or living in such a way that people can see Christ through our actions and not just through how we talk.
You could almost say walking in a manner worthy of the call.
Yeah, I could almost say, I'm also kind of pairing it back to, because we are working through Romans 10. I think it's Romans 10.
Just for now, or is that like a theme verse for you guys?
Just for these first 2 weeks, because last week we walked through. Sorry, I'm currently running through through a dark oak forest, getting chased by everything. So I'm having a hard time thinking about what I'm saying. Okay, I think I finally found my way back. I think. What are your chords? Because I'm very lost.
If you die and go to spawn, that's where I am.
I have so much stuff. Nice, that'll be fun. Leaving tomorrow for college. Awesome.
I'm at negative 384 as X, 252 as Z.
Okay, so it's my Z that I'm really off on. Oh,
I
was running. Wait, you said 250 for Z?
Like 250, yeah, 250 like ish. Yeah, basically just
Okay.
250 for Z.
I was running the wrong direction, so it's a good thing I asked.
It might be inappropriate to ask, so feel free not to answer. But Isaac Dean, if you are comfortable with it, what college do you go to?
Yeah. Okay, I think things have settled down for the minute. I need to put blocks in my inventory. But so this week, I'm trying to remember the exact passage that we talked about last week. But this week we're going for the how will they hear if no one goes, or and kind of going through that. It's a really interesting passage, actually. Let me pull up the verse while I'm thinking about it. Oh, he goes to Maranatha.
Oh, good school.
That's our Bible college. We're kind of your
rivals. Yeah, tell your Isaac Dean, tell your soccer team that Emmaus has scoreboard.
Yeah, tell your soccer team that Emmaus's goalie from 4 years ago says I'm better.
Scoreboard.
That's crazy. I didn't know you went to Maranatha. So you're actually really close to where I live there, because I'm up by Green Bay, Door County area. That's actually kind of hype. I'm pulling up the verse.
You just doxed Isaac Dean.
I don't care.
Dang, you doxed him? Really? You're gonna do homie like that?
Yeah. Where's this verse? Oh, here it is. It's in Romans 10:14 through 15. It's how will they then call on him in whom they have not believed? And how are they to believe in him of whom they have never heard? And how are they to hear without someone preaching? And how are they to preach unless they are sent? And so one of the things I'm talking about is actually kind of comes from Jeff Vanderstelt, which I quote way too much, probably because Banaski quoted him way too much. But the fruit to root, and talking about how Paul works backwards in such a methodical action of, you want people to be believing, you want people to be hearing, but how do you actually get there? You can't just be saying you want people to believe and then not follow that up with your actions. And so also following that with, if we want people to believe, and quoting in with Matthew 28, this is our goal, this is our job. Now, how do we get there? And as part of that, we need to act like it. But I think I rambled, and I don't even know where I started at. But that's what we're talking about tomorrow night. W.
Nice. Our first series, when we actually start, because Vision Mission Night's kind of like a one-off night for youth group. You can't really do that more than once unless you make a series out of it, and you kind of lose the plot if you try to make a series out of that and you end up yapping about nothing. Because it does not take that long to break down a mission vision statement.
No. And if it does, there's something wrong with your mission vision statement.
Yep. It's supposed to be clear as mud.
Mm-hmm.
No!
Wait a second.
I almost died.
Classic.
A creeper blew me off a mountain, and I had 2 hearts falling and caught myself on the other side of the mountain.
What did you say your ex was?
Oh, her name's Carly.
No.
You won't find her though.
Thank you, Nolan. Very cool.
That's not a dox. There's a million people named Carly.
Joe, what is your X coordinate?
-380.
Oh gosh, how did I wander so far? Okay, I'm about 300 blocks away. Actually, never mind. I'm at positive 200. I will be there.
Joe, you managed to build your base exactly where I was planning to build mine. I'm going to build mine somewhere else now.
No, you got to commit now.
The prime real estate, brother.
It's free real estate.
I committed to saying the name of an ex-girlfriend on stream. That was funny.
I don't have any.
Crazy.
I don't have any.
That's crazy. I can't. Oh my gosh. Yikes.
Joe, I'm gonna get you banned.
/ban Sad Skelly. I forgot
He braked it.
Okay, good. I thought I was about to have to swim. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna make a boat. I am so.
Oh, baby zombies don't burn at daylight in this version.
Wait, they don't?
Nope.
Good to know.
I think they spawn less frequently, though.
Alright, I'm sailing across the blue ocean to get back to you guys. So you said you're doing Mission and Vision tomorrow night. That's exciting. What are kind of like...
Our first, series back is going to be a testimony series. So we set a theme for the whole year with youth group, kind of like how camps will sometimes set a theme. So our yearly theme is See What the Lord Has Done, based out of Psalm 46. Nice. And so the first thing that we're talking about in seeing what the Lord has done is see what the Lord has done in the lives of believers. So we're going to start with the testimony series. So we're going to do 1 or maybe 2 testimonies a week until the last week, and then we're going to do a testimony workshop. And then after the testimony workshop, we're going to have a student who's been through the workshop do their testimony in the last night. And we're going to follow a similar structure to... we're going to follow like a testimony structure that's been preset. We're going to follow the same... We're going to follow gospel fluency structure for our testimony. So creation, fall, redemption, restoration.
Nice. I was going to say that's the... Oh, I see Joe floating in the distance. The blocks haven't rendered in, but you have. Hello, Joe. Yeah,
we are going to be playing a buggier version of Minecraft. We're about 12 years removed from a lot of bug fixes.
I was going to say, Isaac just asked, he said, what version? We're playing on 1.7.10, which is the oldest version we could find that actually had decent server support.
And Lunar Client.
Yeah, and Lunar Client. It's the oldest version on Lunar Client.
But this is like nostalgia craft, because I don't know about Joe. I don't remember what Joe said. But at least for Jacob and I, this was the first version of Minecraft that he and I owned.
Yeah. Because I played like beta and stuff on phones and whatever, or like the free versions, but this was the first version I bought on a game card from Best Buy.
This is the version I illegally downloaded in middle school. And paid the price for doing so. Sin has consequences.
Yes. I'm trying to remember what we were talking about just before that. Gospel fluency. Yeah, that's the same method that we use. So we ended our year last year with how do you tell your story series.
It's so funny. Of the 3 EM guys that I know who are doing full-time ministry right now, you, myself, and Nathan. Nathan is teaching gospel fluency to his kids right now too, which I found out by accident. So it's all 3 of us are teaching the same things, a series staggered from each other.
Yeah. Wow, we're all so smart and cool. Alright, I think this is where I'm going to set up my base. I'm right behind Joe's mountain. Oh wait, never mind. Is that Nolan's hidey hole? Nolan, where are you at right now?
I picked up my hidey hole and moved. I'm just getting wood right now so I can go
Okay.
back and start like a proper house.
Okay.
Because I don't like doing those like chintzy like starter bases that you end up having to take down.
Yeah.
I'm just full sending it and gathering as much resources as I can.
Valid. It is
Oh,
funny
you can't
that we're all
strip
doing
wood
that.
in this version.
No, you can't. You thought you could?
Or polished stone.
Do we all have enough wool and stuff for beds?
No.
No, I don't.
I just noticed the sun is starting to go down.
Oh, shoot. Oh, I know where to get wool, though.
From a sheep?
No, I'm going to the desert temple.
Butter, you're so funny.
I know, that's why I'm a YouTuber with over 100 subs. That's what I did this summer.
Yeah, over 100 subs.
W.
Brother broke 100.
Now I don't have to be ashamed to tell people I'm a Fortnite streamer. Well, I still do, but...
I told my pastor I was doing BibleCraft tonight, and he vocally laughed at me.
It's crazy.
I know. I feel like I was like, listen, man, he has an audience. And he was like, I know. I just think it's funny that you're playing Minecraft with your buddies. I was like,
so funny. I love Minecraft. And I always will. I swear, this is going to be like the first game that I teach my child. Actually, probably not, because it's kind of a complicated game.
yeah. If you want your kid to grow up bad at video games and also stupid.
How did you know?
Listen, man.
Listen. Hey, come on, man.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, let me go back to the dock.
I do like this village has a lot of stuff that we'll need.
Yeah.
Is this one of those seasons that has a stronghold right under the village at spawn?
I have no idea.
Okay, I was gonna say I hope not.
Those are always annoying. Because then you can't
'Cause
mine
otherwise-
without silverfish.
Otherwise, we just well, I was gonna say because otherwise we just found the end game structure like less than an hour into the first episode.
No. Where,
I was gonna say
where?
next season of Minecraft, let's play with a data pack where if one person dies, everybody dies.
No. I refuse. 'Cause
I
we all
watched
know exactly how
Call
that
Me
would
Carson.
go.
I watched Call Me Carson play that a little while ago.
It's crazy.
There was a guy who was like at half a heart who's running back to his house, and everybody else was like had diamonds and stuff. And the half a heart
no.
guy was like being chased by skeletons, and everybody was screaming at him to live, and then he died, and everybody like started yelling at him.
Yeah. That would... And it would be you. Or I'd be
I would intentionally
adventuring
jump off a
somewhere.
cliff.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're not doing that. Someone had asked if we wanted it, like, or I think it was me and Joe were talking about it actually, about doing a Chain Together stream. But I was like, I refuse to play Chain Together with Nolan.
Why? Because I'm bad at video games?
No, because you would intentionally jump off.
That's fair. I have a very low view of competitive video gaming.
Yeah,
To the point where if people get sweaty in like a Fortnite lobby, I'll intentionally throw the game sometimes.
I know. It's so funny.
Which I think is why Josiah and
Joe.
Joe don't like playing with me all the time.
Possibly. You're not a sweat enough.
No, but also I will intentionally throw games. Like I'll cop to that.
We know. Chat, clip that. I'm sending that to them. I'm sending that to our Fortnite chat.
They know, dude.
They do know.
I told them that too. I've literally taken. One time, Joe was mad about his crown losing his crown after he died. So I picked up his crown, drove it to the edge of the map, and threw it into the ocean.
It's so funny. I think that's out of stream somewhere too. I don't know when. It would have been an old one.
Because he was upset. And like,
I think that was during the OG season, if I'm remembering correctly.
no, it was during season 4.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember when I even started streaming Fortnite.
I don't think you started streaming it until after I had moved.
Yeah. I can't remember. I don't know. My brain is gone.
Or at least I wasn't actively participating in your streams until after I moved.
Yeah. That's very
And that was
possible.
more born out of
Lack of place and...
lack of place and lack of security of like where I was living at the time.
Yeah. You didn't really
It was
have
my
time to
parents'
worry about
house.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my parents' house, so it wasn't like an insecure place to live. But I didn't have a secure place to stream.
Yeah. Because it was either there or at 1355, which we love 1355. But you have no
Nathan
idea what's
streamed a little
about
bit
to
at
happen.
1355.
Yeah. But you just have no idea what's going to happen in the background.
There's some very unpredictable characters that we're friends with.
Yes. Including
I'm in
ourselves.
a fantasy league. I'm in a fantasy league with them this year.
Nice. I was hearing from Joe Rauk about how annoying certain individuals in the fantasy league are for not picking, or for like just being obnoxious about how long they take to pick their people. And I don't know who it was. I can't remember who it was now. It wasn't you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be telling you. But
I'm not in that. I'm not in that league.
Oh, okay.
They started a new league called Just for Fun.
Oh, nice. That takes it a little bit less seriously.
Yep, which I like.
Yeah, I don't know enough about football to be in a fantasy league. Some people have asked if I wanted to, and I'm just like, nah.
I'm in 3 this year.
Oh gosh.
I'm in my family league, which I'm excited for my family league this year. Actually, it's gonna be a good one. It's funny. It's a good way for me to connect with my cousins and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that I see mostly infrequently.
Yeah.
But also just I have fun with it. My younger brothers take it my younger brothers take their like serious league seriously. The family league is more they just are in it out of obligation.
Yeah.
But I'm not sweaty enough with football to care about fantasy leagues.
No. I just don't know anything about football in the first place.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Can I convince you to relocate your farm if I help you do it? If not, I'll build my castle on the other hill.
Meanwhile, I'm over here terraforming because this place I wanted to build had a huge hole in it.
You don't even have to help me do it. That was just like so that I have a basic food source while like the early game is going before I do anything with the farm. I'll probably put the farm up like where my bridge is, like outside there or down below.
All right, if that's just a basic farm, then that's fine. I'm going to try to develop this area on top because I'm a big Castle on a Hill fan.
I know.
Anybody's
Ed Sheeran.
Castle on a Hill. I really liked the Song of Ice and Fire series, which is the book series that Game of Thrones is based off of. But in the books, there's this castle called the Eyrie, and it's super sick because it's essentially built over the top of a mountain with like a long winding road that's the only way to access it. So it's actually like impossible to lay siege to or like invade because it's so difficult to get to. And it's built like between 2 mountains. So it's definitely like a high fantasy kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's sick. They have like these sky dungeons where like they throw you in a dungeon and there's no like bars or chains or anything like that. It's just a door that's missing a wall that overlooks like a 1,000-foot drop to your death.
Gosh. Thank you. I'm good.
And then their method of execution is just a trapdoor in the throne room.
Jeez. Crazy.
A moon door.
Or yeah, that's what it's called. In the books, it's way cooler than apparently it ended up in the show, allegedly.
In the show, I think it's if I remember right, in the show it's literally not even like a trapdoor. It's literally just a like big hole in their courtroom.
I think that's kind of what it is in the books too.
I don't know. Never read or watched.
Yeah, I would never watch.
No, I know.
I did watch House of the Dragon. I heard it was a little bit more tame.
Wow. Let's see. I need to go get some more dirt.
One of my youth group parents just texted me, "Hello, dear pastor."
Hello, dear pastor. What?
That's awesome. It's very sweet. It's one of our It's one of the older ladies in our congregation.
That's awesome. It's such a funny way to start a conversation.
I know. Dude, okay. Old church ladies are some of the most fun people ever.
Oh yeah.
Like, that's why one of the testimony series people that I'm like intentionally reaching out to is one of like the oldest ladies in our congregation.
Nice.
Just like, who would have a cooler testimony to hear for youth group kids than somebody who's been faithfully following the Lord for like 60 years?
Yeah. That would be interesting. I was gonna say we did that as like our morning series at camp, where we had the leaders give their stories because all the kids have heard mine because we did our series on how to share your testimony, and then I just like interviewed all the leaders through that, and I think it helped the kids also just grow and like learn. Oh, our leaders are real people with real stuff in their past. Like they're not just these old farts who don't know what it's like to struggle with sin and temptation.
I know for a fact some of my youth group leaders have really, really cool, like outstandingly cool testimonies. And so I'm excited. I don't know if I'll do all of our leaders, but
I hear baby
definitely
zombie.
a good number of them. Yeah, I also just have very immense respect for my youth group leaders. I think we have a really, really solid team this year.
Which is important.
Yep, and we're looking at another couple right now to bring in.
Nice.
Which couples are the best people to recruit for youth group? 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, really. Like actually, yeah, it's very helpful. That's one of my goals for this year is to increase our leader team. But I feel like our group has kind of reached the maximum capacity for how many leaders we currently have.
We had a leader step down to pursue some other interests at church this year. And so and she was an absolute rock star. So with her stepping out, it was a blow, but one that I think was inevitable, and one that I'm super happy to like encourage, like go and do stuff that is like what is best for you.
Yeah.
By all means. Like I never want any of our leaders to feel like they're locked down.
Yeah, you want them to serve where they feel like God can use them.
Yeah, and that's super important. So I'm more than happy to encourage that. And so we're down a girl this year. And so I'm looking to expand specifically like our youth group girls leaders. And there are a couple really highly qualified women at our church who could do a great job with that, but also they all have babies. So that kind of hurts it a little bit.
Yeah, because you don't want to be taken away from their time with their child. Especially if that's a little baby.
Yeah, because there was a lady who's a rock star. Her husband helps with youth group and everything too. But also she is a full-time mom and on the women's care team.
Yeah, that'll do.
And it's like, man, I cannot ask you to do that.
Yeah, no. And that's the hard part because there's even some people that I've thought about asking. Oh, this zombie has an iron sword. Ouch, that hurts. But I'm like, I can't ask them because they already serve in so many other capacities and have 3 small children. And I'm like, this isn't like me saying you wouldn't be good. It's me saying I don't feel right asking you to take more time away from your family in this current situation. Mark asked first, is everyone on? Ben is not on with us tonight. He was a little bit under the weather.
Did he text you back after his initial text?
No, so I'm guessing he's been asleep all day. I know there's been, and I know that this is kind of a meme at this point, but I do know that there has been a big bug going around that appears to be a new variant of COVID in this area at least. And like even people who don't get sick normally have gotten like absolutely wrecked by it.
Monkeypox?
No, not monkeypox, thankfully. But so I'm guessing that's what Ben got. And then Mark's second question was, does Nolan hate babies? Answer, yes. Anyways, moving along.
Always be messing up my youth group plans for volunteers.
Stupid babies.
Words that every woman were Sarah.
Word that every woman were barren until she was too old? Is that what you just implied?
I just said word that every woman was Sarah. Sarah was a giant in the Christian faith.
Are we talking about the same Sarah here?
Yeah, she was a matriarch of. She was a matriarch of our faith.
Okay, just making sure. That's going to be part of our next series. Next month. So next week we're starting a series looking at the life of Abraham.
Ibrahim.
And that's going to be a part of it. I think I'm going to try a little bit of a different house design this time. I'm going to build like a bit of a stilt house. Oh, I just saw that there's a bridge up there. Hi, Joe.
Hello.
Oh, this bridge? This one's mine.
Oh, hi, Nolan.
I'm up here too. I have a nice little trap door. Besides, I have a bridge below.
This is Joe's invasion route into my house when I build it up here.
Classic. At least
I think
the
that would be
sun is
fun if we had
coming
like
out.
if we had secret tunnels. Since our houses are closer in this game, I think it'd be really cool. It'd
Yeah.
also be nice. We should get a base started for Ben when we finish ours.
Nah, Ben can move in with one of us until he's ready. I do have to get my farms started though.
I was gonna say,
Otherwise,
and
I will starve.
Ben likes to build his own houses anyways,
Yeah.
but we can probably.
Is
help
this the
get him
version of
some starter
Minecraft where you'll
tools.
die if you jump into 1 block water?
Find out.
I don't think so, because I've done it a couple times.
Okay. Because there was a version where if the water was 1 block deep, you'd still die. So there used to be like a PvP strat where you'd jump into water and then you'd place blue wool underneath the water. You die of fall damage and you jumped in after them thinking that it was
Classic.
deeper than it actually was.
That's called a Sigma Riz strat.
Yeah, that's the Sigma Rizzler strategy.
Terrible, terrible.
I had to explain to my entire church staff what brain rot terms meant the other last week.
That sounds horrible.
Because apparently 2 of my middle school boys went up to my pastor, called him a skibbity Rizzler, and then ran away laughing. And my senior pastor just kind of sat there mystified and was like, I don't know what they just called me. And so he
Yeah.
called me into my office and was like, hey, 2 of your middle school boys called me a Sigma Rizzler. What does that mean? And after I finished laughing, I had to explain what every single brain rot term meant. Because apparently he asked his men's group chat, and one of the school teachers said that they have a list of banned words at school, and Skibbity Rizzler is on that list.
Good. As it should be.
So he had me. They sent me a copy of the list, and I had to explain every single term on it, which was really funny.
It's so
That
crazy.
is a good time.
So as I said, for the first word they said was what is mewing, and so I had to explain what mewing was.
Oh no.
And then they said, what is a gyat?
Oh gosh, no. That's terrible.
No way.
Actually, no,
Oh my
I'm not doing this
word.
house.
My exact words, I don't think I've ever been more proud of the way I've described a brain rot term than this.
Oh no.
My exact words were, oh, cat calling term.
Yeah, pretty much. That's probably about the best way you could go about that one. Isaac says that's wild. I've had to explain a couple of things to my church staff as well, but I feel like they're a little bit more they're on average younger than your church staff and elders, from my understanding.
Yeah, I think yours is a younger church. My church has been around for 30 years.
Yeah.
The average age of our elders is getting younger. Our 2 oldest members of our elder team are actually, their terms are up this year. And the guys who are up to join are in their like mid-30s.
Nice.
So our elder team is consistently getting younger, which, whatever. I like having young guys on our elder team. I also don't want to lose some of the wisdom of our older guys.
Yeah. It's a hard line. But you do need youth.
Yeah. Also, we're in the middle of walking through some not issues. We're addressing the Pledge of Allegiance that's being said in church during Awana. And regardless of your opinions on the Pledge of Allegiance, I don't think it belongs in churches, since the church and government are separate for a reason. And also somebody raised the point that if we keep the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of Awana, then at the end of the year, kids will have said the Pledge of Allegiance more than they've said any Bible verse.
Yeah, which basically, not that it defeats the purpose of Awana, but the Pledge of Allegiance is not why they're there.
Yep. Yeah, and that's all I'm gonna say on that. There's other issues with it that I will not get into, but I think that was a decision that our elders made that I was like, oh, I'm so on board for this. Like, not like entirely like get it out of here, but definitely like I recognize that there's a time and a place.
Yeah, and this is not the time or the place for it.
Right. I get to do pre 1. I get to do pre caves and cliffs mining strats now.
Strip mining. You can't just go into a ravine and come out with full diamond anymore.
With 15 stacks of diamonds.
Yeah. It's been a hot minute since I've built the house, and so typical house building is not what it normally looks like. Although I guess that's false because I've been building that tornado survival house. But I don't know how much longer
What
that
version?
series
What
is gonna
version's
go
Tornado
on.
Survival in?
1.12, I think. Because I think that was the most recently updated for the weather mod. Ow, I fell. I'm not quite sure how much longer I'll keep that series going.
Why is the hype dying?
No, just my excitement for it is dying. It's like
So-
I'll probably do a little bit longer, especially now I just got into the Nether. But my next solo survival series.
You're in, and that's Biomes of Plenty Nether, which is awesome.
Yeah, but my Nether. I don't know if you watched the end of this week's episode, but then my Nether spawn was terrible, so bad. Like I went in and went out and was like, well, I'll handle that next week, which means I'll probably handle that tomorrow. Actually, I usually record those on
Because isn't it like
Wednesday.
you're basically in a ravine?
I spawn and it's basically the portal over just a huge lava pit. And I'm like, nope, don't have energy for that today. But I think I'm recording this week's episode tomorrow. I usually do it on Wednesdays or Tuesdays, but I didn't do it today, so it'll be tomorrow. But yeah, so I'm thinking my next solo series will probably be like a Crazy Craft because that has a few more like concrete
Try
goals.
Alex's mobs. If you install a mob mod,
Alex's
mobs is really cool and creative and feels like a better version of vanilla.
Okay.
But if you're doing Alex's mobs, also do Alex's caves.
Okay. Do they kind
Alex's
of
mobs and Alex's caves? Kind of, but also they're both a little bit of a beefcake for your computer to run.
Okay, that's probably fine. Over my PC at this point.
Yeah, I drew the line at installing. Those were the ones that really tank performance on my computer when I got it on, and I have a good laptop, so installing a mod that tanked performance on my laptop, I figured was kind of a crazy feat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try those ones out. Yeah, and crafting a door only crafts one door. Oh, and they don't stack. That's crazy. Yep. Okay. There's my doors. I need to figure out my window situation here.
That's devious. I'll go as far as to say that's downright dastardly.
That'll preach.
Speaking of preaching, what are you preaching next, Jacob?
I actually don't know when I'm preaching next. I preached. When was that? That was fairly recently. August 11th. So that would have been 2 Sundays ago. My guess is my next one will probably be probably the week after. Oh, probably. I have no idea. I'm gonna stop guessing. I genuinely have no idea. Brian has kind of been in and out of the office with different stuff he's got going on, and so I haven't talked to him a whole lot the last few weeks, just because he was on a trip and then he had a lot of meetings, and but so he hasn't given me the next date. But hopefully I'll.
I heard
it's
because they don't want you to preach anymore.
Good. I don't want to either. No, I don't mind preaching for them on main Sunday mornings. It's good. It kind of, I take it, which this sounds bad, but I do take it a lot more seriously than I take Wednesday nights.
No, I understand that, and I actually kind of agree.
Yeah, and it's not because Wednesday nights aren't important, but there is that air of, these are the people who are, I don't want to say these are the people who are paying my salary, but to an extent it is like that. It doesn't just have to be good theology, but it has to be engaging and again, it's 30-40 minutes, which is not a short amount of time to have to speak for and still be interesting and engaging and funny, while also tying in good.
It's preaching about being funny, Jacob?
Yes, it is. Preaching is only about being funny. But
ready for a stand-up.
Uh-oh. The new Netflix special.
What's the new Netflix special?
Sunday Morning Funnies with Jacob Bowder.
I'd watch it. I'd tune in.
That'd be crazy.
My next sermon is in 2 weeks, actually. So it's coming up.
What are you preaching on?
Philemon.
Oh, that's right. We talked about this the other night. It's a very interesting book. I thought about doing a series on it, actually, at youth.
This morning, dude, okay, this morning was the dorkiest I've ever gotten about scripture.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
My senior pastor and my senior pastor is preaching through, what's it called? He's preaching through 1 Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got to King Saul.
Mm-hmm.
And so the way that 1 Samuel is written is really, really interesting and engaging, because there's a big argument that, King Saul started off good and then he turned bad later. But if you really dig in, King Saul was always bad. And it's written as a direct sequel, probably by the same author as Judges.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like so important, and everybody forgets about that.
Yeah.
It's like, this is written by the same people who wrote Judges. The same, like probably Samuel who wrote both of those.
Yeah.
And so like
it's somewhat ironic
little things
while
like
he's writing.
Mm-hmm. And like the way that he writes is he writes things, but he doesn't write them for no reason. Like Samuel writes things because he wants you to understand things.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that's that we like that my pastor pointed out to me, he was like, even just like, Nolan, you should know this.
Here, I'm going to pause you out right there real quick. Thanks for joining, Isaac. Have fun finishing up your packing, and we'll hope to see you next week for episode 2 too. And you'll have to let us know how first week goes. All right, continue with your nerdy.
So we preached 1 Samuel 10 last week, and it's Saul's anointing and coronation.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really interesting about Saul's anointing and coronation, I know this is like super engaging and all, is that he basically in those passages, and they don't outright say it, like they expect the reader to already know it, but Saul gets anointed 3 different times for 3 different offices. When he is eating at Samuel's house, they cut him the leg portion of the meat, which is a priest portion, so they're anointing him as a priest.
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Spirit comes upon Saul so that he prophesies, which is the anointing of a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And then he is later crowned king, because Saul's role is Israel's first anointed one, the prophet, priest, king. A role that later that actually roughly translates to Messiah.
Yeah.
Because eventually that's going to be Jesus' role as the perfect prophet, priest, king. And there's all these like hints in there that while that's Saul's role, Saul is not the right kind of person to fill that role.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, like it sprinkles in like little snippets that you'll know if you read like Judges. So in Judges, there's this whole encounter where the Benjaminites, first of all, that's a red flag right there, because the tribe of Benjamin isn't a leading tribe. The tribe of Benjamin is the least of all the tribes of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And the prophecy has always been that Judah is going to be the one where the promise is fulfilled for.
Yeah, classic.
And so Saul being a Benjaminite is I just got that. Saul being a Benjaminite is immediately a red flag, but also Saul's from the town that literally committed like a Sodom and Gomorrah level sin at the end of Judges.
Yeah.
Like that's Saul's hometown. And there's all these little things like and that's literally there to raise red flags. And so like when Saul first becomes king, the passage that we're talking about this week, Pastor Mark this morning was even just like, hey, I want you to look at this a little bit deeper. So he was like, I want you to see if you see any judges language here. And then reading 1 Samuel 12, 1 Samuel 12 is worded exactly the same way as every story of all of the judges in the entire book of Judges.
Interesting.
And it's like that because it wants you to realize that Saul is like not functioning as a king. He's functioning as another judge. And the judges of Israel were no bueno.
Yeah.
And so it's like he's like, what do you think it's written that way? And it's like, well, it's supposed to be a red flag, right? This is supposed to be showing you that like Saul's not the kind of king that they need, and Saul's basically just like another judge. He's like, I think that's what the text is saying, but even I don't know. I just found that so fascinating.
Yeah.
And even like besides that language, you know that story of when the Levite's wife is abused at the town that they stop at in Saul's hometown.
Yeah.
Probably by some of Saul's descendants.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's not true. That's not Saul's descendants. That's a different city. But in that kind of same vein, you get You get that story. But then at the end, to show Israel how bad Benjamin is, the guy who had that done to his wife cuts her body into 12 pieces and sends a piece of her to each tribe so they can see what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And when Paul's assembling Israel for war, he takes a cow, he cuts it into 12 pieces and sends a piece to each tribe with a message saying, if anybody doesn't join us for war, that's going to happen to his cows too.
Oh, jeez. Forgot about that.
So it's literally showing, like, wow, Saul's really not that much better than all these freaks.
He's like, I don't remember that part of it, but and that's not me saying I don't believe you, but that's interesting because I wouldn't have thought about it that way. I'll have to look into that some more. That's interesting. Mark had a question. He said, when preparing to preach, are you ever worried you'll get something wrong?
Yes.
Yes. I was gonna say, I feel like
I'm worried about that in conversations, dude.
Mhm.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I could say a heresy.
Yeah.
And one way that's super helpful for me is when I preach, I'll write like 6 different versions of it. But I have a little cohort of pastor friends that'll have review it for me. So I'll have my senior pastor do it for me, and then I'll also have my dad look over my sermons because my dad's a pastor.
Yeah. That's a good way to go about it. I was gonna say, I feel like if you aren't nervous about messing up, like I never want to get too comfortable. I want to be comfortable enough to preach that I'm not like sweating through my shirt, and I'm getting there. But I never want to get too comfortable where I lose the caution and the weight of what I'm doing. Because again, you're leading God's people, and you're teaching them, and they're taking your word as biblical truth. And for the majority of, like, there's going to be the couple, like I have a couple people in my church who either used to be pastors or for whatever reason are more, they pay more attention to what I say and will come up to me and have, like, if they disagreed or whatever, and I welcome that. But for the vast majority of people in the church, they don't, like they're just there and they just trust that whatever you're saying is the truth. And so if you say the wrong thing, they're not going to know that you did, and they're just going to be like, oh, that's what the Bible says. And so there is a very big weight to that fact of what you say people will take as Bible truth, and you can't forget the importance of that while preaching. And I mean, honestly, like, I know that it might make me seem a little bit more robotic while I'm preaching. I just heard a creeper. Run, Joe. But to an extent, like, what was I saying? Oh, I know it might make me seem a little bit more robotic while I'm preaching, but I almost always fully manuscript, and then I'm not reading, like, just word for word my manuscript, but that way I don't mess something up that is an important phrasing or wording or something. Because I know that whatever I'm saying, I've already read over and studied a few times.
I manuscript too.
Yeah, and I know that's not technically like the best way to do it. I know technically it flows a lot better and sounds a lot better if you don't manuscript. But I prefer to manuscript because that way I am sure of what I'm saying ahead of time. What are you doing in my chest here, boy?
I'm seeing if you have extra iron. I was gonna build a bucket.
I genuinely have used every bit of iron I got. I'm about to go mining.
Mining away.
Mining away. I don't know what I have to say. I was listening to Minecraft parodies yesterday.
Jacob, what resource pack are you using for this version? Because I know you like resource packs.
I'm actually currently not using a resource pack. Everything currently on I don't even have shaders on. This is all just Optifine and Lunar Client stuff. So, and it looks really good. But I don't have, like, I thought about throwing on shaders or a texture pack. But as of right now, I currently don't have anything turned on. Mark said, bro, I had such a hard time with buckets today, I lost 4. Oh yeah, because you were saying there's some weird glitch with the new version. Or with the new snapshot or something like that, right? Is that what you were saying? that you just keep losing your buckets, which doesn't make sense, but like it is a snapshot. So I see the hole. Okay, I'm gonna go find
Okay.
a. I'm gonna need to
It's
find a
okay.
mine. Do I just mine straight down from here, or do I try to find a mine shaft? I can't remember how the cave generation worked. If it was worth it to just mine down.
Lord, I forgot how terrifying creepers are.
Yeah, especially that's what I'm saying. Like, especially without the ability to have a shield where you just block and nothing happens. I would use water to pick up water or lava, and it would just disappear. That's so crazy. Mojang, fix your bug. Oh, there's a witch. There's a witch. There's a witch. There's a witch. Witch.
Your wife. It's your wife. It's your wife. Wife.
No. Ow.
He's
Just
literally
kidding.
quoting the movie.
Hey, it's a
Wait.
movie.
It is?
Yeah, he's quoting...
I'm your wife.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie in so long. It's a good one.
Wow, uncultured swine. Am I right?
You are
I'm
right.
right.
Janessa, I don't think has ever seen it.
Oh, really?
That is depressing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say this, and I know that this is going to be controversial.
Princess Bride is overrated. Nolan trying to be different.
I've thought that for a long time. It's very quotable, but it's like the default first date movie.
Yeah.
And because of that, annoying people quote it all the time.
That's very true.
I remember I sat through a wedding where a pastor tried to make the marriage joke, but like unironically. And it was a wedding of people I knew, and it was a Zoom wedding on top of that, so
That's
it was really hard to sit through.
crazy. Because then they can't tell that people aren't laughing if it's on Zoom.
Yeah,
There's
so
no feedback. Oh, I know what wedding you're talking about.
there it is, and you know who's
Yeah.
made the joke then too.
Yeah, that makes it even better remembering it. I was thinking of a different. I've been to 2 weddings where that's happened, and one of them was in person, and it landed a little bit better. But part of that was because of the crowd at the wedding was like the cosplaying crowd, and so it was like
Yeah.
a little bit better. But no, I know which one you're referencing now. That was a crazy Zoom wedding.
Yeah. Great people.
Yeah, great people. Just again, it was like that awkward, like they wanted. To
I
get
have sat
married,
through
but-
some.
Yeah.
I have sat through some doozies of weddings.
Yeah. I was gonna say because I'm sure you got invited to all sorts of weddings when you were younger, just because you were the pastor's son. Like.
Yep. So, I mean, I will say a lot of my goofier weddings have been in Christian college circles.
Oh, 100%. Because we're all
Um,
corny and weird.
and it's usually people I love.
Yeah.
But sometimes you got to be like, "Hey, dude,
Hey,
I
dude,
love you. Your
don't
wedding
do
is
that."
cringe."
Yep.
But if you tell somebody their wedding is cringe, then you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Especially if you say it in front of their wife,
Yep.
which I don't recommend
Never
you
say
do.
don't say that in front of the wife. Because
Or just don't say it in general, because I mean, yeah.
generally don't. Especially because of the fact that, and I mean, I'm married, and I know there was stuff that probably happened at our wedding that was not. I don't think anything was crazy cringe. But also, I was part of the planning process, and I don't really care if anything did happen. And so I think that's also part of it, is that you want people that when they think of their wedding, and I've thought about like saying this to someone, and I don't think it's anyone that any of you guys know, that their wedding was kind of strange. But then it's like, I don't want them to, when they think back on their wedding day, think about my comment.
Yep, that's also fair.
I want them to be able to think back. And if they think it was weird, then they'll at least laugh at it. But, let them have that memory, even if it's a weird memory.
I know plenty of guys who have just been like, my wife planned the wedding and I stayed out of her way.
Mm. Like I said, I was a part of it.
I think
but
that
not
depends
a
on their
crazy part of
relationship
it.
too.
Yeah.
Because like I think weddings are a joint process. I think a lot of women think about their weddings for far longer and in far more detail than most guys
100%.
Because like for a girl, they've been thinking about that their whole life. Like that's like they've been daydreaming about like their picture perfect wedding.
Yeah. But for
And
guys,
then-
we're just like, oh yeah. Someone
But
told
for
me
guys, for guys, it's like, boy is your dad paying for this.
Yeah. Someone
I
told me
know.
the wedding
found
is
my
for the
mind.
wife, the
Dude,
honeymoon's for the
I
husband.
didn't even. The funny thing is, I didn't even do that intentionally. I had the first like quarter of this like mine set up,
Oh, really?
and then I was like, I'll just finish it, and I'm like, oh, I'm pretty close to someone else's mine, and then I was just like, oh wow, it led directly to your mine, and I kind of love that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm literally just
It's
gonna
more a
mine down
quarry
and
right
come
now.
over
I'm
here.
actually having really bad luck with ores.
Yeah.
And I'm even doing I'm doing all the right things for diamonds and not finding them.
So I'm about to mine, just straight up mine down from my area here because I can't find anything. Mark said the last time he watched Princess Bride was at Emmaus. Yeah, because that was
What did I
we watched
tell
it for
you?
Winterfest. Christian college. Yeah.
It's like, what's an inoffensive movie that has just enough cornball jokes where we can get away with it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and to be fair, it's not even to the fault of Christian colleges because usually, I mean, as the person who picked Princess Bride for the movie night,
There was also one of 4 other 80s
yeah,
movies.
there's when the theme is 80s movies, there's not really many you can actually pick from and show.
Yeah, because the 80s were the golden age of anything goes on TV.
Yeah, especially in PG movies, and you're like, wait a second, this isn't. Shout out Goonies. Great movie.
Was Goonies gonna be one of them?
No, but Goonies is technically PG, and I don't know if you've watched Goonies since you were 12.
No,
But
it's
there's
not.
a
That is
lot in
not a
Goonies.
PG movie.
It should not be PG. Hamilton. That was a full-on howl. As I say, I can't remember how to mine in these versions of Minecraft.
I know. I have to open an old save file on my mind.
Yeah, it's like digging through the database. Beep, 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 beep.
Dial up.
Going back to dial-up after having fiber. Never seen
I've
Goonies.
probably excavated enough stone to have made good progress on a chunk mine were that what I was doing.
Yeah. I mean, Mark, I think it's a movie that's worth watching, even just to understand cultural references. It's not a bad movie by any means, but it's definitely
Which movie?
not a
Oh, Goonies.
But it's definitely not a PG movie.
Mm-hmm. Goonies is probably one of the most famous movies of all time. I would be
yeah.
pretty confident saying that.
It's very
'Cause
much the
it's
movie I
fun.
watched
It's
with
an
my
adventure
dad.
movie.
Yeah. It's pirate ships and romance, but like fun romance, not weird romance. And there's what's his face? Actually, there's parts of it that probably wouldn't get made now.
Sloth.
Yeah, that's his name. Baby Roof. But fun movie.
Joe, did you use my iron to craft armor?
No, I had found 10. I did take like 2 extra in there so that I could make a
Oh,
bucket
that's
as well
fine.
for my farm.
I heard my chest close, and then Joe came around the corner wearing an iron chest plate.
Knowing Joe, I would have believed that he had just taken it too. I was gonna say,
Yeah, this has not been awesome for ore finding.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I found a decent amount of ore, but I can't find a mine.
Mine shafts are fewer and further between in this version of Minecraft too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why X-ray was so big back then, because otherwise, like half the time, you just couldn't find anything.
Yep. Hey, I like it. I like the challenge.
Yeah. It makes it go slower. I can't just appear at the surface with full diamond after 10 minutes. Oh, what is this?
I just let a creeper
Ooh,
get at me for a little bit so I could mine better.
nice. Strategic explosion.
Yeah, except for now I'm at 1 heart.
Oof.
And I don't have any food.
I will say I got a lot of food right off the rip because I just instantly went to like
Farming.
Farming
That
animals.
that is smart.
Well,
Part of it is I like
found
building
a cave. Let's go, baby W. I'm trying to remember. Let me go over to my questions again real quick because we got about a half hour left. Yeah, so for this season, wow, it's been an hour since we were talking about this question. Got streamlined or off topic. Our plan is to have more guest hosts. The goal is to keep it at 4 people per evening. So if one of us can't make it for a night, then we'll fill that spot. But some nights we will just, if someone has particular experience in an area. Like we're trying to get one of our professors from college to join for our discussion on Christian education, stuff like that. I want to get Jared from VGM to join in a conversation about online evangelism and stuff like that, because that's his whole thing, or other versions.
Eric
Maybe even
knows
go
about
like
online evangelism.
maybe even go and talk more along the lines of like parachurch ministry kind of discussion with him, because he's worked in both church
We
and
should have a
parachurch.
debate.
We should have a debate where we all start to hate each other by the end of it. The goal. One of the other things.
Do you remember when I got yelled at during that debate because I changed my opinion every time somebody said something and ran all the way to the extreme opposite end of the room?
So funny.
Mr. Riley grabbed my shoulder and was like, "Knock it off." I was like, "Yes, sir."
Because I don't think you realized how angry people were actually getting during that whole thing.
I know, and then every time somebody said something, I'd be like, "Oh, good point." And it was one of those debates where you had to change your position by going to the other end of the
Yeah, you
by
have to
going
physically move.
if your position was changing. And I literally would change to the most extremes every time somebody opened their mouth and be like, "Oh, great point."
Great point. Sprints across the room. Hey, how's it going, Seon? You made it for this one. Welcome. But so that's kind of the goal, and I think this season we decided we're going to keep it to 10 episodes, because after about 10 episodes we will have run out of stuff to do. And so in the effort to keep it engaging and actually have stuff to do, I think we're going to keep it to 10. If something happens and we decide to extend that, we can. It's our thing. We can do whatever we want. But the current goal is 10 episodes, pre-planned out with topics so we can actually, all kind of have our thoughts compiled a little bit beforehand. As well as we'll be doing sort of a more formal study or discussion every night about different passages, I think. Or this is something that because I don't know if that was on stream or off a stream. But Joe had the idea of working through part of Job. And part of Job won't take 10 episodes. So in my mind, I figured once we get through Job, we can kind of branch out to some other sections that are interesting and kind of work out from there.
I think we'll go all the way through Job, because there's a lot of chapters in Job.
Yeah,
no, I think we were talking about starting when God enters the scene, right?
Yeah,
so at the end of Job?
The main conversation and then prayer portion of it is the focus that I had in mind.
Yeah. And I think that's really the only other thing on the docket for tonight is starting that off. With that, Joe, I don't know if you want to quickly give us a bit of an overview of what Job is and what Joe's about. Joe, Joe,
what are you about, bro?
Joe, what are you on right now?
I'm on Minecraft.
Yeah, Mark just said you should roleplay Bible stories. No.
I'm gonna a hard pass on that one.
I will be Job. Everyone kill my animals. Just kidding, please don't.
Dude, this
Near Hamilton.
Actually, yes. Wait. What? All right.
I thought I had it coming.
Is it Y11? Is that
No, it's Y16 for diamonds.
Oh, that's scary.
No, it's not Y16, is it?
Is it Y11?
Chat, does anyone know what the old...
Oh, no.
I think it's Y11.
Oh, no, that's why I'm not finding any diamonds.
Does anyone remember? Diamond mining level pre-caves and cliffs. Yeah, Y11.
I'm so mad. I've wasted an hour and a half mining at the wrong level.
Bible SMP is crazy.
Who said that?
Because Mark then said the Bible SMP. Imagine the views, bro. And Seon said Bible SMP is crazy. That would be.
Bible SMP would be crazy. Who would we get on that?
I don't know. That would be obnoxious, though. There are some channels, I think, that do that. That retell Bible stories in a Minecraft animation format.
Yeah, but also
not well.
Let's get real.
Yeah, that's not.
Oh, that's not.
That's not. Ooh. But yeah. So back to Joba. What's kind of Do you want to just give us kind of like an overview of the story of Job leading up to what we'll talk about? Or honestly, maybe
killed by a spider.
Nice. Maybe tonight, actually, let's just set the stage because we've got about 20 minutes left. Set the stage, go over most of Job, and then next week we'll start with Job 38. I think is the section where God begins to talk to Job.
I think that's the section, yeah.
Sorry, I'm crafting pickaxes. Oh gosh,
You're
I
good.
keep forgetting about that. You just drop everything when you're done crafting.
I'm just starting a new mine.
Fair.
Dude, these creepers are so frustrating.
I was gonna say there's so many creepers.
Aw, man.
Pull up. Oh man. I'm pulling up. Let's see. Is there a summary of the book of Job?
Gospel Coalition will have one.
Yeah. Synopsis.
Synopsis.
I feel like you could just describe it too.
I mean, it's not a very hard thing to describe. I mean, if we want to make it super long story short, it's this random dude who loved God a lot, and Satan was like, yo, let me test this dude and how much he actually loves you by destroying his life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Joe was like a super rich guy with a bunch of cattle, a huge family, a bunch of money, like crazy amount of land. He basically was the guy who had everything.
Like Elon Musk of the Bible. That's who he was.
Maybe not that far.
Job made the Cybertruck.
I saw one of those the other day. You're where we live, and it was the funniest thing ever. I was making fun of it.
I think if you drive a Cybertruck, unironically, you deserve to be mocked.
Nolan refuses. I have the Cybertruck in Fortnite because I think it's funny. And Nolan's bit for the season is he refused to get in a Cybertruck, so he won't ride with me in Fortnite anymore. Which I kind of respect. He was rich because he was a Christian. No, Mark. There are two things wrong with that sentence. First of all, Job was not a Christian. Second of all,
he got punished. The reason he suffered is because he didn't give enough money to the church.
He didn't listen to enough Joel Osteen books. That's crazy. It really
Joel
is.
Osteen books on tape.
Yeah, because it was in the Old Testament, so they didn't have CDs yet.
I'm glad you understand.
Prosperity gospel. Yes, I love prosperity gospel. Just kidding. Pastor Brian, don't fire me. Ooh, I found a mine shaft.
I said this is a joke this morning during my men's Bible study. But also, do you remember at Emmaus when every couple of months I would start talking about Gnosticism in the coffee shop and not calling it Gnosticism to see if I could get any freshmen to fall for it?
Yeah, that was a good bit. Chat, clip that, yes. And then send it to Nolan's pastor.
I actually told him that today. He thought it was funny. Because I was making the point during the Bible study I was at this morning that Gnosticism has become more acceptable in Christian circles as long as you don't call it Gnosticism.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, case in point, this is something that when I was younger and at Emmaus, I used to do a lot.
Just so
crazy. And it was funny because a lot of people would be like, sounds accurate, and it's not, but it's funny because people fall for that crap.
Yeah, and it was so easy to get people to fall for too. I love prosperity gospel. We are an army. Yes. We are the army. And by the army, I mean Seon and Mark are my army.
We are army.
We are Pastor Bowder army.
No, we're just army.
Oh.
We're Jim and Jugkook army.
No. I refuse.
The fact that they call themselves army.
Which is crazy.
I'm not going to talk about...
No more BTS.
It'll just make me upset.
Good. But yeah, so Job was a rich guy. But because God's in control, Satan had to go to God and be like, hey, basically it was something along the lines of Pastor Bowder Prosperity Gospel Army. No, absolutely not, Mark.
Because Satan is #impotent.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
No, that word means exactly what I think it means. I know that it gets co-opted for other uses, though.
Okay.
It means powerless or lacking potence.
That's true. That is true.
Which is why it gets used in fertility conversations.
Yeah. Actually,
that's a full leather armor skeleton. who might actually kill me if I don't run away.
So I just entered a mine shaft. Following Satan equals poor.
Following Satan. Following Satan's.
It's like the Facebook post. My children will like and share. My children will ignore. Those are crazy. I love those posts. They make me laugh.
It's one of my. It's a really funny bit. I have that for the cover picture of one of my Bible playlists on Spotify.
So funny.
Like one of my Christian music playlists just has that, like a screenshot of like an old Facebook meme. But it's funny because occasionally people will see it and not realize I'm joking.
Yeah. Which is almost better.
My favorite version of it is one that I made in Microsoft Paint and was my profile picture on Schoology for a little while.
I remember that.
I had to change it. Do you remember in Schoology, I made, in our school software, I made my profile picture a picture of one of our professors. His name was Professor Kunjiman.
Oh yeah,
His first name.
Yep.
I named myself Nolan Raju Kunjiman Johnson, and then I made his picture my profile picture. And I had to change it because I went into a class and one of my professors gave me the death stare and said, "Nolan, I almost dropped you from this class because I thought I'd accidentally added Professor Kunjiman."
It's so crazy.
I changed it. I dropped it on the spot.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say.
Oh, there was another one where I called
Riley.
myself Jeff Daniel Riley.
One of my favorite things was when they added. Oh, I see someone's name tag. Oh, we're in the same mineshaft here, aren't we?
No, I didn't even do Kunjiman. I did Mr. Riley. Spencer Heckler did Kunjiman, which is why I'm
That's what it
conflating those
was.
stories in my mind.
I see Nolan through the wall. What was I saying? Oh, there was the oh, I found the mother load of diamonds. W baby, let's go. First diamonds on the server. One.
I'm so mad because I've been mining for almost a solid 2 hours.
Do you see where my name tag is?
Yeah, I know.
I
That's
just
why it
got
pisses me off
6.
even more.
The teachers got beef with him, honestly. But when they added, I don't even remember what that software was called, but they added that other Populi. That's what it was. And it was like it was basically like a college social network, weird like. But my favorite thing was that one of our friends had just been dumped by a girl like months ago. And at some point, I looked at his he was trying to show me something on Populi, and he opens up the recent searches, and the top result is his ex's name, and I just burst out laughing. I was like,
Tell me who it was
"Dude,
after the
you're
stream's
going
over."
bad, or you're down bad on Populi for your ex-girlfriend." It's crazy. I was gonna say you could probably take one guess and know who it is. Absolutely, bro's in the gym now. Yeah, bro should go to the gym now. All right.
After a stunt like that, he better.
Back to Job, 10 years later. But yeah, so God says something about you can try him, but he's gonna stand strong. He's still gonna believe in me. Do whatever you want, but don't hurt him. And so Satan causes his family to die, his cattle to die, him to lose. Oh, this is a crazy. Nolan, come this way. There's a huge ravine over here. You turned the wrong way at this fork, brethren.
Are there diamonds in that ravine?
I don't
gonna
know.
be so upset.
Literally, come this way. There's this huge ravine.
Oh, I like these.
Yeah.
I used to
Nostalgia.
pray for days like.
Oh my gosh, did you just almost fall in? Sorry, I keep getting distracted because I'm looking for diamonds. I am not the best storyteller while actively.
I would have logged off, bro.
It would have been crazy. Am I tweaking, or did you
Oh,
say
that's an
his family
enchanted
died?
bow.
Yeah, his family died. Here, I'll pull up summary of Job. Okay, I found one. Job is presented as such a good man that God's boasting about him in a conversation with Satan. Satan is then given permission to test how faithful Job would be if he had to endure loss, grief, and pain. And Job's friends come to bring comfort to Job but fail miserably.
That is the understatement of the century.
Yes, that is the understatement of the century, but it is a very quick explanation. I hear a zombie creeping towards me, so I gotta tab out of that. Okay, I'm safe. Actually, I'm just gonna do this. While I'm reading. Where are we?
You are joking. This skeleton is relentless.
Okay, gotquestions.com. They have a good article on it. At the beginning of the book of Job, it is a scene in heaven where Satan stands before God. God asks Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job?"
Hey, Jacob, are you near me?
Kind of.
Do you have any food?
Yeah.
Okay, can you come to me because I have a skeleton on my butt. I have 2 hearts and no food.
Where are you? Did you just run me off?
Negative. I see your name tag.
I don't see
I'm north of you.
North, okay. Oh, I see your name. Oh, there's a baby zombie along the way, too. There's so much gold here, brethren. Where are you?
I know. I had to pass it because I
You
was running from a zombie.
Ran. Oh, I found the
But
skeleton.
also, gold's useless in this version of Minecraft. Remember?
That's true. This is Sparta, that skeleton.
Oh, thank you. How much steak did you have?
I have a lot of steak, dude. So
How?
much steak.
I found a zombie dungeon.
Nice. But then it says, and Satan immediately accuses Job, a righteous man, of fearing God only because God has prospered him. Basically, Satan's like, yeah, that guy's faithful to you because you've given him all this stuff. You've given him a great family. You've given him money. You've given him stuff. My camera's kind of blessed up. It's blurry. I wonder if it's because it's dark in my room. Let me turn on my actual light, too. Oh, hi, Hammy. What are you doing down there? So Joe is sad Skelly. Job, spelled J-O-B like job, is a character in the Bible. Sorry, I just finally saw your comment. But basically Satan's accusing God that Job is only faithful because God has blessed him so much. And so Satan says, strike everything he has and he will surely curse you to your face. Basically, if you take all this stuff away, he's going to leave you. He's not going to listen to you anymore. And so God gives Satan limited permission to put Job to the test. And the question raised is, why do the righteous suffer? And this is the question that Job asks after he loses his family. He loses his money, he loses his health, he loses his property. But then Job's friends, he has 3 friends who come to, like, it says, quote unquote, comfort him. And basically they're all accusing him of, you must have sinned, otherwise this wouldn't be happening to you. But through it all, Job still remains devoted to God, angry at God, but devoted to God, and still following and faithful, saying, I don't understand, this isn't fair, but I'll still listen and I'll still follow you.
I'm inclined to disagree a little bit, but, oh gosh. I think Job does eventually get sucked into a little bit of sin. Nothing, like, extreme, but, like, Job's got some messed up versions. Job does have a little bit of a messed up view of God.
Yeah.
At the end. He's also super self-righteous, which again, like, I understand. And I don't think that's like oh gosh.
Did you just fall in the lava?
I came really close. I forgot you can't, like, swim backwards against the flow of water.
Oh yeah, you have to, like, actually swim. Well, that's a creeper. Oh man.
Yeah, but you can't strafe backwards in water, which was getting me.
But yeah, basically, Job was rich, and then Satan tests him and takes it all away. And his friends come and try to comfort him, be like, you must have done something wrong. Otherwise, this wouldn't be happening to you.
Also, not the only person that's been tested like that in the Bible.
Yeah.
Jesus says to Peter that Satan has demanded permission to sift Peter like wheat.
Just such an interesting way of phrasing it. So this series, BibleCraft SMP, is equal to... So basically what this series is, and we did this season 1. I know you started watching, you started hanging out after the first season had already finished and we were kind of on a break. But what we do is we just talk about the Bible. Nolan and I are both pastors. Our buddy Ben has a theology degree from the same school we went to, and Joe has been involved in ministry his whole life. In some capacity or another. And so we all decided to come together and play Minecraft and just discuss theology. And so whether that's questions we decide beforehand or also if people have questions, we've had some great conversations just off the cuff based on questions people have asked as we've been streaming. So if you ever have questions about the Bible or about Christianity, drop them below. And even if we don't answer them today, That way we know what your question is and we can try to answer it on the next stream.
Yeah, we keep a document that we try to update pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And this year, this season is going to be a little bit better planned out. Also, we will finish this before first semester's over.
Yeah, I was gonna say because this will be about 10 weeks worth of streaming. Then we'll take another break at some point, I'm sure, before kicking off season 3. But I don't even want to start thinking about that yet. Yeah, so the series is basically.
If you have an
Minecraft
idea
plus
for
the
season
Bible.
3, we've talked about a couple different things. We've talked about modded. We've talked about bedrock.
Yeah, we've had a couple different ideas, and so, but a lot of it is figuring out what works the best for everyone who's a part of it. So obviously Ben is a part of BibleCraft, but he is not here tonight. He was not feeling great, and so he was taking the night to just rest and try to recover. He's working as
Actually,
an
Ben
EMT
told me
now.
he faked sick because he doesn't want to talk about theology with Jacob.
Classic. Heard that before. Yeah, and if you don't know a sentence about the Bible, that's fine. That's, again, Nolan and I are both pastors, and it's not like we're, I mean, I know my church, Nolan's church is in a more biblically literate, and what I mean by that is people who know the Bible, just, even if they don't believe it, they know it. He's in a community that has a greater, just general understanding of the Bible, but where I'm a pastor, this community just generally doesn't know anything. And so, you're very similar to a lot of the kids that I have in my youth group of, not knowing a single sentence of the Bible until coming to youth group or talking about it. And that's the way people learn. You can't learn without asking questions. And as soon as you know one sentence, that's already learning more than, again, even if you don't believe, like, knowing one sentence of the Bible is better than knowing no sentences of the Bible.
A lot of what I do with my youth group is similar to Jacob, also a little bit different in that I have a lot of kids who have grown up around the Bible their whole life, so they could tell you all the stories. But there's a difference. There's a palpable difference between knowing about the Bible and knowing like the message and knowing like what is being communicated, what's being said, like knowing the love of Jesus. And because you could know all the things of the world, and it really means jack crap if you don't care. So I think that's a lot of what my ministry has pivoted toward. Mine is a lot more of Scripture is God's word, but it's not about knowing things. It's about knowing Him, and it's about like having that personal relationship with Jesus. And for somebody who community is really important to me, that's huge. Like knowing that I have a community that is like rock solid, that is built into my faith, extremely comforting.
But so I know that this kind of content is just naturally not for everybody.
So we try to keep it light. Like we have some heavier conversations, but like we're playing Minecraft.
Yeah, we're playing Minecraft.
So there's a little bit of perspective that you got to have there. Like,
if you don't mind me asking, you said, well, I am a whole different religion. If you don't mind me asking, what religion is that? I'd be curious to know. Oh, my wife just got home from worship practice. Let's see. W's in the chat.
And my wife.
Because you have to have a wife in order to be in ministry, right? That's how the
only married people are allowed in BibleCraft.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
just ask the church that turned me down for a job because I wasn't married.
So I guess let's go ahead and kick Ben and Nolan. Half the group is gone.
All right,
just
Pete.
Joe and Powder.
All right, Mark, you are now a main cast member.
I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea.
Oh gosh. All right, see you, Mark.
I may not have a
thanks for
wife,
hopping in.
gentlemen, but I have an idea.
Uh-oh. I hear water up
I'm
here, and I want a water bucket.
so lost, dude.
I was gonna say this cave has kind of turned into a crazy.
I can't even find my original strip mine. I haven't found one diamond.
Oh gosh. I think I found enough. I'm going for Avi, so we can get enchantments going. I'm a little Hindu and a little Buddhist. Okay, interesting. So those are two that I'm not all that familiar with. Beyond what I learned about them in high school, and a lot of that is
it's
just
a different
because of the
worldview.
fact-
It's a lot more new age. If I'm correct, and you can absolutely correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't want to misrepresent your religion. Because I think the main focus is achieving enlightenment, or achieving like a higher plane of knowledge and a higher plane of learning.
Yeah, I think that's my general understanding of Hindu and Buddhist as well. But again, like, you know, I've grown up in a predominantly Christian or just atheist area.
Yeah. From my understanding, there's also several different like subsect of Buddhism in particular that I know of.
A lot of times it ties back to a New Age worldview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm going to misrepresent your position and your religion.
He did say enlightenment is correct. Yeah, I'd be interested. I'll have to... I mean, I know Wikipedia is not the best for any source of information. But I might look into
would you have any recommendations?
If you have any... Could I be interested
sources? Because I would be interested as well, just to educate myself.
Yeah, and kind of know where you're coming from, you know, because, I mean, you're generally hanging out on the channel. Whether those are on live streams or I've been enjoying almost every day I see a random comment on like a reel I posted months ago, which is super funny to me. But you know, like I'd love to.
I'm just surprised people want to talk to Jacob.
I know, me too. Who would want to talk to me?
Well, there's also this really cool ministry that a couple of us. I don't know if Joe's ever seen him, but in Dubuque for one of our classes when we were going to school, we were required to go to this meeting called the Children of Abraham, which is a meeting of faith leaders from different Abrahamic religions, and like a roundtable discussion. So generally there was, I want to say a pastor, a Hebrew rabbi, a Jewish rabbi, and a Muslim imam.
Yeah. And I think sometimes they would have people from Buddhism, or I think they sometimes have them as well. Just as
you don't see a lot of that in our neck of the woods. I mean, we're all from the Midwest, and the Midwest does as Midwest thinks they do best.
Oh yeah, baby, we are the best. But
emphasis on the mid.
But as we're I think we just rounded 2 hours here about a minute ago. So I'm gonna finish mining up my obby here, which I need 10 for the portal and 4 for.
Jacob, oh shoot, there's a. Okay, that's actually super clutch that there's a mine shaft at the bottom because I'm out of wood. My pickaxe broke.
Classic. I'm gonna mine this up, and then I think I'm gonna work my way up to the surface, and then we'll end the first episode of BibleCraft. I did just get an update text from Ben, so I don't know if he was watching when you asked if we had heard any more. He said, build a hut for me, which we didn't do. But he said, I think I've got bronchitis or pneumonia. Neither of which are fun things to have. So...
have we told Ben to consider getting good?
Ooh, skill issue. Being sick is a skill issue, says me, who's sick way too often.
You are always sick, my friend.
I am always sick.
Sicky, nar.
Sick nasty. How do we get to the surface from down here? Oh, ravine.
I'm just full sending it and digging a hole straight up.
Where? Let me come find you, because I have a diamond pick. What are your cores?
Oh, look at you, Mr. Diamond Pickaxe. I actually don't care if you come with me or not.
Dude, the last 3 zombies I've killed, another one literally spawned in as I killed it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with that, but I think there is some mob spawning bugs with this being a lunar hosted world, and I'm not sure how or why, but I have noticed that there's been some weird stuff with the mob spawns. Hi, Hammy, is Mommy home? He just came in and started looking at me. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think I am just gonna dig up.
Not a single diamond has been found, so I'm going to lose my mind when I actually find one.
Elbows, though. Imagine not finding.
It doesn't help that I mined at the wrong level for half the game.
Yeah. Alright, let me start the staircase right here. Nolan, at the top of the ravine, there's a staircase that'll have torches around it.
I'm already going up a staircase. I'm at
I'm already higher than you. Got him. Skill issue. Hit him with that emotional damage.
Are you already above Y40?
Damage. I'm at Y37. Actually, never mind. I'm not above you. How are you above me? Your name tag looks like it's below me. Oh well. Having more staircases down is always a good thing. Ooh, more iron. Ooh, piece of candy.
What do you mean piece of candy?
Iron. But yeah, so
why
next,
is iron piece of candy?
because it is. But yeah, so next week we'll talk about, I think it is Job 38 is like the when God
Beginning
enters
of
the
it, yeah.
scene. So if you wanted to kind of be aware of where we're going with that, just look up, BibleGateway.com or whatever, or just go to gotquestions.com because they've got a good summary of it. Also, there is a YouTube channel that I don't agree with all of their beliefs, but they do a good job of video summaries of books of the Bible.
Bible Project.
Yeah. Let's see, where is that?
Jacob, you're right below the village.
Am I? Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Oh, Bible
Oops.
Project. Yeah.
The
Here.
spider jockey is not awesome to see.
So if you want to kind of be aware of what we're talking about, I think this is an 11-minute video. That's our topic that we'll be talking about a little bit next week, as well as some other stuff as well. You guys should start like your own server. You guys play together once a week, and most of the time just focus on your basic. Yeah, I mean honestly, so my problem with single player and even multiplayer is I always get bored if I'm just focused on my base.
Because you go too quick.
I go
you
too
progress in the
quick.
game way
Yeah.
too fast.
I used to speedrun the game, and so most of the progression stuff just doesn't take any time at all for me anymore. Oh, I found sandstone.
Oh, that's not the same village, is it? Oh, I'm just going the wrong way.
There
Lol.
is a plains village nearby as well that you might have discovered.
Yeah,
No,
Powder and I
I
are
dug
kind of
up on it.
opposites in that way. I really like the whole base building aspect
Yeah.
of
Troll
the game.
Wars and cool stuff. I forgot about Troll Wars.
Yeah, me too. Troll Wars. Yeah, I've got to just get all my materials back up to my base and start cooking down some of my cobblestone into stone bricks. It is kind of nice that zombies don't turn into drowns here.
Yeah. So there's like a little cobble hut sort of thing by the village. That's a staircase that goes straight down into
Troll
the
Wars
ravine.
and he meant Troll
yeah,
Wars
trolling each
and
other.
Cool.
That could be
I mean,
fun.
we already kind of do
Yeah.
like troll each other a little bit when it comes to playing Minecraft.
I was
We're
gonna
like,
say,
we don't do anything too crazy, but we
Yeah.
do little tame pranks on each other.
Mhm.
Once
We
in a
generally-
while.
There's a line because like you've got to we are playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
If you're taking yourself seriously while you're playing Minecraft, go outside.
Yeah. Yeah, but there is also that line of, again, we want each other to have fun while playing Minecraft, so we don't troll too hard.
Mhm.
I feel like our line is pretty much like, as long as it's not like any long-term like building or gear damage, then we just goof around and have a good time. I need to move my chests before I keep putting more stuff in. I heard that. Okay, that's all the way up in the hill. That's fine.
Yeah, we have talked about once we like kind of get a little bit more of a viewership, if people are like interested, potentially doing like a community server of
Mhm.
some sort, or like a community event night or something like that, where we all
Yeah.
hop on and we do some sort of PvP or PvPvE kind of an experience. But
Yeah.
we haven't really ironed much of that out. It was an idea that came up middle of season 1
Mhm.
that we really haven't ironed it all out together yet. But that'll probably be something you can keep yourself posted on if you're interested in
Yeah.
it.
I hate that you are already enchanting.
I just put a level 1 on my pick. People who take it seriously are certified emo. Well, have I got news for you?
I'm already
Wait for you to meet my friend Joe.
Let me introduce you to Joe.
Meet Joe and
Powder.
Jacob,
Actually,
guys
yeah.
who still unironically listen to and
Where
sing
are
along with
you?
together.
Yeah.
And I'm so
I
sorry.
was just listening to Face
no
Down
way.
by Red Jumpsuit Apparatus on the way home from work
What
today.
would you do if I just like stole all the iron in your chest?
I'd be sad.
Sad.
Would you be
even-
sad?
I might even give a
Alright.
cry.
Not a cry. Skull emoji. Yeah, I understand. All right, I'm gonna come and check out your guys' base, and I think we'll end it.
So
for
I have
tonight.
not even started building a base yet. Actually, I
Yeah,
spent
that's
all my
alright.
time mining and not getting anything out of it.
Classic, because I found all the diamonds right before you would find them.
How many
skill
diamonds did you
issue.
come out with in the end?
I got 3 for my pick. I have 3, so that's 6. And then I put 2 into the enchant table, so I ended up with 8. Oh, that was not water.
I bet you feel like a real jerk right now.
I'm so sorry, Joe. I thought there was more water down there.
So did I, to be fair. That's why I was hitting
I
him.
thought you were gonna fall into the water, and then I looked down and just see your body die. I was like, "Oh, here, I'll give you a boost." No, just kidding. Okay, so is this here Nolan's spot on this side of it?
Bridge. Like all of my stuff is on that
Okay,
bridge.
so Nolan's stuff is all on the bridge here.
The upper area is
Oh.
Nolan's area.
I like. There's a savanna biome nearby. That could be cool to go and explore. And then Joe's. Oh, this is Joe's roof. Wait, how do I get into? Oh, you covered your bridge. Here we go.
Yeah, you can. There's a trapdoor that you can go down.
Oh, was there? Did I just miss it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see the ladders now. I do like that we're more restricted on what blocks are available. That one edit moment.
It makes us a little more creative, I feel like, with our build. Like, I'm probably gonna make a much cooler bridge eventually. I was gonna like go with like a really cool like arched bridge style at some point, probably. But that's something I'm gonna need like dark wood for and stuff like that.
Why do I have a feeling that Ben is just gonna live over on that Savannah Plateau all the way over there?
There's got to be one. It's not me this season.
That's true. Cool. Well, while we are all, I think, kind of getting our stuff smelted up, I want to thank you all for joining for episode 1 of BibleCraft Season 2. I know we're all excited. I hope you guys are excited to see where this season takes us. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments or send me a message on Instagram. My Instagram handle is the same as my Minecraft name and my YouTube, Pastor VGM. You can go follow me there and send me messages. Or
find my Instagram.
Or do that. Oh no, Joe's on his way to punch me. No.
I'm not punching you. I'm just here to vibe.
Yeah. Also join the Discord. I think I have the link down below. And if that's a bad link, then oopsies. I always post in there when we're going to stream. But yeah, so BibleCraft will be Tuesdays, 6:30 to 8:30, roughly. And then Thursdays will be our Fortnite streams. So, and then whenever I do my solo Minecraft stuff, those will go up whenever I feel like posting those. But with that, thank you for joining.
Thanks for joining, guys.
And we will see you all on Thursday with Fortnite and next week for some more BibleCraft.
Catch you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.